You see that water right out there, it holds some really special memories for me. It was back in my teenage years that my dad used to bring me and my brother bass fishing here during the heyday of what was then one of the hottest bass lakes in the entire country. On this week's episode, we revisit the lake to see if the bass fishing is still that good. This is going to be fun, and this is Fox Sports Outdoors.
It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southeast region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors Sports South.
20 years, that's how long it's been since I've been to one of the most scenic lakes in the entire state of Arkansas. I would like to welcome you in to beautiful Lake Millwood. It's located right in the southwestern corner of the state of Arkansas, and I'm going to tell you that it is 35,000 acres of some of the most fishy looking water you could possibly imagine. This place has got lily pads, grass beds, cypress trees, logs, stumps, every kind of cover that you could possibly imagine where a bass might hide. The last time I was here was back in the mid-90s. I was with Lucy Mize, who used to fish professionally back in those days, and this was her home lake. We caught crappie back then. Today's episode, I hope to show you some bass fishing and give you a new possible destination where you might go fishing on an upcoming trip. And while I'm out in the Bass Tracker Pro Team 175, doing a little scouting here at Millwood, we're going to take you around your local region for your fishing reports for the week from our team of insider reporters. This is going to be a lot of fun. I am fired up about today. Right now, let's get it all started back at the studios with your weekend planner.
Hi everybody, it's good to be back with you, and I'm happy to report that baby Ryder is 11 weeks old, 13 pounds, and doing great. Now let's take a look at the fishing projections for your weekend. The lunar tables are predicting fair conditions for both days, with peak morning hours starting a little before sunrise. Expect the best afternoon conditions to begin at 6:13 on Saturday and 7:04 on Sunday. The sun will rise at 7:13 in the morning and set at 7:28 p.m. And night skies will feature a crescent moon that is 33% visible. Stay with us. Fishing updates from around the region are on the way. And I'll return with Jason Christie on this week's Ask the Pro with a question about soft plastics. We're coming right back.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Tracker Boats. It's more than just a boat, it's a tracker. By Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there. By Mercury Marine, official outboard of Fox Sports Outdoors. And by Lowrance Electronics. Find, navigate, dominate.
There he is, he's chasing, he's got it. All right. There's my first Millwood bass in 20 years right there. That is a nice little spotted bass. Check that out. All right, hey everybody, welcome back. As you can see, we've got the Bass Tracker Pro Team 175 in the water. There's a crankbait, and there's my first bass. What a beautiful little specimen that is right there. See the beautiful lines down his side, small mouth, patch of teeth on the tongue. Little spotted bass, about a pound and a half or so. All right, well, let's get you situated here. It's mid-morning, and what we've done is made a run up into the main river channel from Yarborough Landing. We're just starting to fish some of the little ditches and trenches and creeks that come in out of these forests here. And you can see big forest full of cypress trees, all flooded. All that water you see out there is anywhere from 2 feet to about 8 feet deep. And in between all those cypress trees, there are big patches of water hyacinth, lily pads, hydrilla, just everything that a bass could possibly want. So that gives you a little bit of the lay of the land. I'll talk to you some about watercolor, some of the places that the fish hang coming up here in just a little bit. But we've got a start. Great day so far right here at Millwood Lake. Let's get you some fishing and lake reports from where you live.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's Tennessee and Kentucky Fishing Report. You know, I'm going to tell you what's happening right now, and it's all on top. Everything from the east side of the state of Tennessee over in Douglas and Cherokee to Nickajack, Chickamauga, all that stuff, all the way over to the west side, where Kentucky Lake, Pickwick. It's topwater fishing. And what we've had some really cool nights, and that cool water, those cool nights cools the water, and especially shallow water. So what I'm gonna tell you is get you a topwater bait and get somewhere where shallow water is next to where the fish have spent their time in the summer. And vegetation is just a plus. A walk the dog type bait is key. A buzz bait's really good. A frog around the vegetation and a popper style bait is outstanding right now. So it doesn't matter where you are in Tennessee and Kentucky, the topwater bite is fire. It's not gonna stay this way. It's gonna get hot again, and we're gonna, you know, have that little bitty slump that we always have between summer and fall. But right now the topwater bite's hot. Crappie fishing's really good too. Anywhere that there's brush, stake beds, lay downs, treetops, whatever, where deep meets shallow as well. They're making a huge move to the shallow water with these cooler nighttime temperatures. So guys, just get out and enjoy yourself and enjoy some beautiful weather. We'd love to see you on the water in Tennessee and Kentucky. Guys.
What have I got? Good bass. Yeah, there's a chunk. All right, let's real quick get this fish loose. Just another fat, short, little chunky fish. Back he goes. See those lily pads? That's the river channel coming around there, and a little skinny point, and that's right where that fish was laying. Here's your challenge. Anytime you come, not just here, but any place like this where you've got thousands of acres that all look fishy, you've got to figure out where in all that acreage the fish are actually going to be. Edwin Evers always says 90% of the fish are in 10% of the water, and that's exactly the case. So you've got to figure out a change in bottom depth, a change in current, where the river current comes around a little corner somewhere. You've got to find a little clump of cypress trees that are off away from everything else, a little grass bed. Your challenge is to find something different that the fish can home into that's not like everything else around it. That's the key to finding bass in a huge expanse of territory like we have here at Millwood and so many other lakes, particularly across the southeastern part of the country. Everything looks the same, but everything doesn't hold fish. Figure it out. We'll be right back. Got one. Nice fish. Get in here. Get in here. Spotted bass. We got something working out here. Welcome back to Millwood Lake, everybody. I want to tell you a little bit of history of what's been going on here. Just like everywhere else, this past spring, this lake had a huge flood. By the way, I went to a square bill crankbait that time. I'll show all that to you at the end of the show. There's a nice, fat, chunky little spotted bass right there. All right, here we go. Back. And this lake got to be 23.5 feet above normal level. So everything really got messed up this spring. But I've been noticing as I've been looking around, all these big piles of debris in the trees around here. And I just noticed those are from where the lake was so high and the river came through here, and all that debris got caught up high in those trees. You can see that's about what it is. It's about 20 feet up in those trees. So lake's coming back to normal level, things are getting back good, and the fish are starting to bite again. Here are more fishing and lake reports for you.
Hey folks, Captain D here with your Carolinas report. This week brought to you by Marshall's Marine, located in Lake City and Georgetown, South Carolina. We're your bass boat leader since 1969. For all your nitro and bass tracker needs, visit www.marshallsmarine.com. Saltwater side of things, I want to tell you about a tournament coming up. The Key West Boats Marlin Quay Marina King Mackerel Shootout held October 16th and 17th. Fishing's on the 17th, registration and captain's meeting on the 16th at the Marlin Quay Marina in Garden City Beach, South Carolina. Visit Marlin Quay Marina for more information on the tournament. The inshore bite has been incredible on flounder, speckled trout, and on redfish. Get out there early in the morning for that top water bite like we've talked about the last couple weeks, and look, as the next couple weeks you'll start to see those trout get into more of a fall pattern, and we're going to have some great catches of trout throughout the Carolinas. Captain John Owens up in Riceville has had a great time sight fishing for the redfish lately, but he also caught a nice 55-pound cobia this week on one of those schools of redfish. Down in Georgetown, Captain Jordan Pate is having an exceptional season on the tarpon. He says that he's having multiple hookups on these trips where he's getting out, and he looks as the next couple weeks, you'll start seeing the mullet and the manhaden making those moves down the beach and into these jetties and estuaries, and you'll see those tarpon following them in as they're making migration as well. Offshore side of things, the wahoo continue to be a go-to species you should target. Find live bait, find good schools of bait out there. If you're marking bait, you're gonna find fish, and look for the blackfin tuna as well as the dolphin to start making that migration south as well. This has been your Carolinas Report, sponsored by Marshall's Marine. Remember, fish smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.
There you go. Got it. Swimming at me. Decent fish, too. Look at this. Wow, look at this. There's a good one right there. All right, well, we've definitely got it going on Millwood today. Got fishing going on. They're hitting crankbaits right along the edge of the river. And this is a lot of fun, and this will be good right on through the fall months as well. This is not going to slow down anytime soon until it really gets cold. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. By Lose, setting a new standard of fishing performance. Feel the difference. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. And by Stren Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability.
Right where he was supposed to be. Oh, good jump. Wow, what an acrobat. Oh, he's not gonna bite much more because he's got 2 mouthfuls of crankbait. Look at that fat daddy right there. Square bill crankbait again. Look at that little chunk right there. Fat belly, small mouth, Florida bass. And let that fish go back. Thank you, sir. You can see right here behind me over the top of my head, that's a little bayou, little bay back in there, and it has a little neck that feeds right into the main river channel. The river's right out here to the right. So these fish will gang up right in the mouths of these little ditches where there's an interchange of water. Water flowing in off the river will flow up in that bayou, and then sometimes it'll flow back out the other direction, but it's a great little confluence of currents right there that'll hold fish. All the floods back last spring occurred right at the peak of the spawn, and all this flooded water, all this flooded vegetation back here was all protected in shallow water. Nothing could get to it, and all the fish had a big spawn this past year. The other thing is there's been something like almost 3 million Florida strain largemouth bass stocked in this lake over the last few years, and they're just now getting to a really good size. That was one that we caught right there. That was a Florida strain largemouth, classic wide body, smallmouth. Those are the fish that can grow up to 10 pounds plus, can be double-digit fish in a lake like this. That spells nothing but greatness for the future of Lake Millwood. Here's more fishing and lake reports for you.
This part of the program is brought to you by Maven Binoculars, a Wyoming company selling world-class optics at great internet prices. Maven Binoculars was given Gear of the Year award by National Geographic and offers a lifetime warranty on everything that they sell.
Hi everybody, welcome to your Coastal Fishing Report. We're into flounder now, and this is the time of year throughout the southeast coast for flounder. Fishing can be good just about anywhere along our 3 states along the coastal region. In Mississippi, the fishing has been great right now for flounder about this size, and they will get bigger as we come into the fall. Mississippi coastal area has been really good, particularly around Biloxi and Pascagoula. They're catching lots of fish of this type around docks and rubble, lots of riprap areas. The Katrina Reef area has been good. Anywhere there's shell, you want a good moving tide. And live baits work well, but we caught this fish today on a jig, bumping along the bottom. It's been very, very good. Incoming tide or falling water doesn't seem to matter too much, but they are concentrated. When you find fish, stay in that area and work it hard. If you're not finding fish, stay on the move. Georgia fishing for flounder also has been great. There tend to be more up in the Clearwater feeder creeks around Shell and deep banks, again where there's good current. And Alabama has been good for flounder too. Again along the coastal areas, looking for docks and pilings and shell bars.
This week's freshwater fishing update is brought to you by Liberty County. Located in scenic coastal Georgia, Liberty County offers the Dorchester Shooting Preserve, 2 marinas and public fishing piers as prime locations for your hunting and fishing trips or outdoor activities. Escape the ordinary and visit Liberty County, the right blend. www.libertycounty.org. Now the weather is finally beginning to cool down and the fishing is picking up. It's time to be on the water in the Deep South. Over in northeast Mississippi, that means targeting smallmouth bass on Pickwick Lake on the Tennessee River. This 43,100 acre impoundment is probably the best smallmouth fishing in our region. Right now the bass are in transition. They're on the old river and creek channels, hanging out on the ledges, and a couple of good places to target those are in Bear and Yellow Creeks. These smallies are keying in on young shad, so any lures that imitate those bait fish should work. For some largemouth fishing, head up to northwest Georgia's Rocky Mountain Public Fishing Area. It's a good bet right now. These 2 lakes total 559 acres, but Heath Lake is only open the first 10 days of the month, so you need to be targeting 357 acre Antioch Lake. The bass are going to be in that abundant shoreline cover. In Alabama, there's an early bite for largemouth bass on Demopolis Lake. It's on the Black Warrior River, and the best lures to be throwing are buzz baits, frogs, and spinner baits, and you want to target those weed beds and down trees along the shore.
We got it, swimming with it. Got him. Good jump, good jump. Double. What a crazy fish this is. Come aboard, fatty. All right. Here's another way I just discovered to catch a fish, is sitting in the river channel and throwing up on a ledge. Now, look here behind me, nothing. No lily pads, no stumps, no grass, no cypress trees, nothing. Just wide open country. You'd never know in all that acreage where the fish are. But I was driving along the ledge here, watching my Lowrance Elite 7 with the chirp sonar, and I could actually see real clearly the separation of all those hooks and all that bait down there right on the river ledge. So I picked up a little plastic worm on a Texas rig, show that to you a little later, threw it out on the ledge, and bam, one hit it, and I actually caught 2 before that.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Exide AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. By Motor Guide Trolling Motors. Introducing the XI5 for ultimate boat control. And by Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Champions aren't born, they're made.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's get right to your Ask the Pro question for this week. Don wants to know, what is the shelf life of scented soft plastics? For the answer, we checked with professional angler Jason Christie.
You know, what I've noticed about plastics is if you will keep them out of the sun, I mean, not let them go to extreme temperatures, extreme hot or extreme cold, that will lengthen the life of your plastics, and especially the hot. You know, in the summertime, that's whenever you start seeing some of your crankbaits and some of your plastics swell because of the heat. So if you can, just try to keep a constant temperature. I have a garage that's, you know, it's maintained, and that, you know, I have plastics that's been in there for 10 years.
Thank you, Jason. If you want some help from one of the pros, simply go to foxsportsoutdoors.com and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit your question. Now it's time for someone to win a new pair of sunglasses on the Costa Catch of the Week.
Try to catch one crappie for you right here, and boom, he's got it. Right on the river ledge. Almost the same spot that the bass are. Oh, that's a good crappie. All right, there's the bonus for you right there. All right, well, we're done. We've had a great day today. Little Bobby Garland crappie jig right there, and caught one crappie for you. Pitching that thing right up on the river ledge, letting it fall down, and a couple of big stumps in here. And this place is loaded with crappie as well. Time right now for the Costa Catch of the Week winner. Every week, someone wins a free pair of Costa sunglasses. This week's winner is Sherry Dom of Ocean Springs, Mississippi, showing a 55-pound amberjack she caught in the Gulf of Mexico, and she hooked and landed this fish by herself. She only needed help holding it up for this picture. If you'd like to have a chance to be our next winner, all you have to do is go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com, click on the Costa Catch of the Week box on the right, follow the instructions, and send us your photo. And you can see all of the Costa frame and lens styles by going back to our website, clicking on the Costa logo. You can see all of their great sunglasses there, including the frames that I was wearing on this week's episode called Harpoon. Next up on the Academy Right Stuff, here's the gear that we use today to catch these bass, beginning with the loose David Fritz Speed Stick Perfect Crankbait Rod. This is an awesome rod, got lots of give. The top half of the rod to play those fish so they don't throw those little hooks. Lots of strength right here in the base of the rod, great feeling rod. On that, I've got the loose BB1 Pro bait cast reel, and I've got that spooled up with 17-pound test Stren fluorocast line. Now the three baits we use begin with a shallow running square bill crankbait, runs about 3 feet deep. Also, we caught some on your right on a lipless rattling crankbait like you see there on the right, and then for the deeper fish off the ledges, we used a lead jig head, had a Jean LaRue rally grub on the back of that. Our world is filled with unsettled news and fear. Racist groups stirring up trouble. Our courts passing laws, turning their back on the moral roots that this country was founded on. Terrorist groups causing just that, terror and fear, and rogue gunmen shooting up our schools, churches, and theaters. This is one time in history when you and I cannot afford to be silent. Irish poet Edmund Burke once said, "The only thing necessary for evil men to triumph is for good men to do nothing." At this time in our history, you need to do several things. Number one, go to the polls and vote your conscience. Number two, volunteer for a civic organization or a church and give back. Donate to good, solid, charitable causes. And most important, speak up when given the opportunity. At this point in our history, the last thing that we can afford is for you and I to remain silent. Hey, I'd like to remind you of next week's episode. We'll be on at our normal time, 6 o'clock Thursday, with the repeat airing Sunday morning at 8:30. You can also see the latest episode of our show 24/7 on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Here's a reminder for you that our website is now mobile friendly, so it resizes correctly no matter what kind of device you're viewing on. Anything from an Android to an iPhone to a tablet or a full-size PC, everything sizes correctly. And don't forget to like us on Facebook, where you'll see all the latest videos, photos, and fishing news. And follow us on Twitter, where we're always giving away some kind of free gear. Before we get out of here, I want to give you Mike Seifert's information one more time at Millwood Lake Guide Service. He'll bring you out here and put you on some of these fish. What a great place, beautiful scenery, lots of quality fish, both crappie, largemouth bass, and spotted bass. From Millwood Lake, Arkansas, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.